So here we are, I'm following two of my favorite drag racers, Brian Bossone, Pro 50 racer, in the driver's seat of the kit car Cobra, Shannon Poole in the passenger seat. It's the Dragy shootout. All right, so here's the whip in question. It's an AC Cobra kit car, Factory 5. It's got, I think it's got SN95 front brakes on it. See if we can see them in there. Yep. 17-inch rims, GT40 crate motor. I'll tell you what the glass jaw of this car is. The glass jaw is right there. It's a T5. So they're both going to take it easy on that because nobody wants to see transmission parts all over the road. And I think you guys are going to be kind of surprised. You're not going to see giant burnouts because, well, street radials, light car. And once you break loose on radials, you're done. You know, slicks will recover, radials not so much. So you're going to see some gentle leaves, and we're going to see, you know, who's the better driver. Is it you, Brian? Is it?
Of course it's going to be me.
Is it really? You sure?
I got a little more experience than he does with T5s and Mustangs and Fox chassis cars. He's that Chevrolet guy. The only thing they had T5 in was, I think, the IROCs and crap, and those were slow anyway.
Yeah? All right, let's find out. This is Brian Bossone and Shannon Poole after a night out together. This is what happens.
My ass hurt.
That's not from us being together in one night.
Brian, how'd that feel? What do you think?
I'll tell you, other than probably too much tire pressure, hard tires, light car, I bet you thing's probably got 410s in it. I tell you, it's tricky to launch, so Shannon's gonna have a problem too. He doesn't have a lot of experience with these Fords, number one. That's the problem. But this thing is a little lighter than usual. Well, it's not as light as your Vet, but this thing's crazy to get going. It wheel hops. I don't think it's got a quad shock. If I can open the damn door in this thing. Yeah, not back in first again, but first, second, third, yeah. Got to give him another try on that one.
You're rolling. Ready? Are you rolling?
Do another one. Got to get used to that shit. Second gear's weird. I told you, it's like pulling an emergency brake for second gear. All right, whatever. Hold on. Hang tight.
time driving and I think I did pretty good. It's tricky in going into second gear, but everything else is pretty cool. Feels like it's got good power, but I knew when I left a little aggressive, and this door handle sucks.
All right, gentlemen, how do you feel?
Well, I'd say that it was a learning experience for both of us because both of us aren't used to driving anything that short of a wheelbase with a stick in it on a cold road with about 200 pounds of air pressure to tires. But you know what, though? It's fun either way. That's right. It's all fun.
Right, it was fun. He's better with a stick than I am.
Well, not only that, but in case you don't know, look at how
I handle my stick.
Like sticks.
that's what the shifter looks like in this thing.
Yeah, so the problem with this is the angle where the transmission is. So first and then second is like pulling down, and then third's like pushing an emergency brake. You're like basically shifting with the emergency brake. Look, there's the emergency brake, there's the shifter. Usually it's this, and you're throwing up the third. You're kind of just rolling it over. It's weird, but you know, it's a fun car. It's actually pretty awesome. It's cool to drive.
Yeah, the pictures don't really do it justice. It is a pretty car,
It's
too.
loud and it's fun. That's what's all about racing in cars and stuff, is to have some fun with something. I'll tell you right now, bang for the buck, it's pretty hard to beat a factory 5 car, considering it uses all of the 5-liter base stuff. It's got the rear 8.8 rear. This one's got a GT40 crate motor, fuel injected.
Right.
It's got I think these are like 94, 95 brakes on the front of this, so it's a little bit of hybrid of 94, 95 stuff. But
So that's the SN95.
SN95
right?
and the Fox, but it works good.
Well, you know, neither one of you are familiar with the car, so this may not be the best time. We're going to get a lot of, armchair quarterbacks.
Hey,
But
I
you know
can tell
what?
you right now, get in that thing, never driving one, and try to make that thing go straight down there. That thing wheel hops its ass off. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things you have to feather, right?
Yeah,
Feather.
yeah.
When you pull in a second, it wheel hops again. It's probably just tire pressure. If it had a softer tire, and I don't know if this one has the quad shocks on it like the original Fox bodies, but if it did, it'd probably stop a lot of that. But you know, it's all fun.
And you guys got to remember who you're looking at here. You're looking at a Pro 5.0 racer. Brian went 7s in the 90s.
750s.
750s, but in the 1990s.
Quarter mile, not eighth mile. Yeah. 450s and eighth.
And of course, Mr. Poole, he's actually taking flying lessons now.
Yeah, that's his new thing.
Right.
And we happen to be what?
And a hanger.
In a hangar in the airport community, the new all-out garage, which is actually an airport hangar. So, what better way to introduce the place than with the pilot?
Right. I got to get my pilot's license, but
Yeah, because the last time you tried to land, it wasn't so great.
that's the part I suck at, is the landing. So, but next time, I'm gonna pull the chute a little earlier.
You know what it is, though? Any landing is a good landing, right? You're still
Right,
alive.
Right.
Any landing you can walk away from.
You can walk away from.
There
And
you
here
go.
he is.
And you know the one thing that we're missing? We don't have some good sound of this thing. Can you fire it up and
Yeah.
goose it a little bit? All right, guys, so there you have it. It was pretty much 60 foot was dead nuts on. Shannon's shifts were a little slower. I presume that's because he was being nicer to Brian's T5, the glass jaw of the AC Cobra right here. They both left nice and gentle, which, you know, we expected it to be the case because, well, you know, street tires, like I said in the beginning, radials don't recover, man. They just don't. Slicks do, but radials will not. So that's how you get these cars off the line. That's what two professional racers look like, taking a car they both have very little experience in. Brian's only had this car for a few weeks, and Shannon's never driven it before. So, yeah, and there was one other thing I wanted to say. This thing is a bit slower than I expected it to be. I think, well, one, it is pretty fat. We could smell the exhaust pretty bad. But it might be over-geared a bit. 0 to 60 time was pretty good. But, you know, then it kind of fell down a bit. So it probably could use a tune, a little bit of work, and optimization. It's still it's a gorgeous car. It's a great ride. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.